I wish someone 34 years ago had grabbed me round the throat gently and said, wake up yourself, stop looking for now business. It's okay if someone says they want to sell in 6 months for you to start to follow up with them. If I'd done that from day one, then year 2, 3, 4, 5 would have been a lot better than what they were. Especially year 2 would have been a lot better. Year 1 was miserable, one sale, because I was looking for now business all the time. So if you're a new agent, make sure you have a database management system from day one. The best time to start a database management system is when you have 0 leads, because it's really easy to do the input. You get a lead today, you input it. If they say they're going to sell in 6 months, in the 1 month's time, call them. Hey, Daryl from ABC Realty, I talked to you a month ago. You said you were going to sell in 6 months. Just doing a quick check. Is that still the deal? And they're going to go, yes. Say, no problem. Hey, I'll give you a call in another couple of months and just check in on you and keep you updated with the market if that's okay. Anything that sells in your area, I'll give you a call and just give you a quick update. Is that okay? Yep, that's okay. Let's assume they say, no, that's not okay. No problem. In a month's time, call them again. They would have forgotten that you called a month ago. And if they remember, say thank you, because now you're in the top of their mind. It's a no-lose situation. Number 2, I see new agents make this mistake a lot. They team up with someone else in their office very early in their career. The big mistake with that, unless you happen to be married, if you're married, that's maybe the only exception, as was in my case. But otherwise, partnerships in real estate generally do not work. They might work initially, but then one partner starts looking at the other partner and saying, gee, I'm working more than them, I'm bringing more income, and it starts to fall apart. The best way to form a partnership is wait till you're very successful individually, on your own merit. Then once you've done that, if you want to partner up with someone in a very specific way, maybe they do units and you do single family residences, that's okay. But again, it's a very risky maneuver. New advice to a new agent, or good advice to a new agent, do not get into a partnership unless you're in a married partnership. That would be my only suggestion. And by married, I mean some sort of committed relationship, just to be PC. Number 3, you should be in real estate because you love the business. You should not be in real estate because I just want to make a lot of money and clients are a pain in the ass and I don't really like them and I don't like buyers and buyers are liars and sellers eat their young. If you think like that, you're in the wrong business. You should enjoy all aspects of this business. You should not dread prospecting. Don't dread things in this business. Find a way to make prospecting enjoyable. For me, in the early days, it was door knocking. I really enjoyed going out, walking around and door knocking. I'd meet all sorts of strange and wonderful people. I have some spectacular stories from those years, but I enjoyed it. Some days I'd get lots of leads, I'd make appointments. Other days I'd get nothing. Some days it'd be rainy, I'd be cold, I'd be wet. I actually had holes in my shoes in that first year because I couldn't afford a second pair of shoes, and I was walking around 6 hours a day. But I enjoyed being out there. I learned to appreciate the fact that I had my health and I could walk around for 6 hours knocking on doors. So find prospecting that you do not dread and find a way to enjoy it. Even if you don't think you can, find a way to enjoy it, and that will give you longevity in the business. Number 4, know that your prospecting will progress. In the early days, it's really cold prospecting. You don't have a lot of past clients. You don't have a lot of warm or hot leads. It's all cold lead prospecting. And you don't stay in that area. You might stay in that area for about a year as long as you're prospecting enough, but in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th years, a lot of your prospecting will be warm prospecting. It may be past clients. It may be people you've talked to 2, 3, 4 times and they're in your database management system. So the cold prospecting, the hardest prospecting is at the very start of your career. And maybe just in that first year. And once you get past that, once sales start happening and listings start happening and buyers start calling you and your advertising is working and your social media marketing is working, it all gets a little bit easier, to the point that eventually I got to in my career where nearly all of my prospecting was delegated out. Someone else was doing it for me, except for past clients. I always maintained that control with the past client. I always wanted them to connect the sale or the listing with me directly. But every other area of prospecting, eventually, I'd say this took about, looking back on it, probably 3 to 5 years before I got to that point. But it does happen, so you've got to stick with it. That's probably the best advice I could give. And number 5 for today, we'll just do 5. Know that the way you set goals around prospecting will change. Initially, when I started prospecting, I used to say, okay, I want to prospect 6 hours a day. That was the goal. And that's a real 6 hours. That's not a BS 6 hours, 3 hours in the morning, lunch, 3 hours in the afternoon, like clockwork 6 days a week. That's verifiable. So I'd prospect a certain number of hours. Then I went from that to prospecting a certain number of contacts. I wanted, this is me specifically now, I wanted to get 150 contacts a day. That's talk to 150 people per day and say, hi, have you thought about selling your house? Which I did. Well, from that, I then changed my prospecting. So I've gone from hours to contacts. I then changed it to leads. I wanted to generate 10 leads every day. So now I didn't care if I did 2 hours of prospecting or 7, as long as I generated 10 leads, that's all I wanted every day. Then the next level of prospecting was appointments. I wanted to generate a listing appointment every single day. So now I've gone from number of hours of prospecting to number of contacts to number of leads to number of appointments. That was on a per day basis. And then from there, I moved into what I call more specific goals. So I went from generating leads to saying I wanted a certain number of listings per week. And then from there, I wanted a certain number of sales per month. Because all that matters in real estate at the end of the day is the number of sales. It doesn't matter, and I've had periods where I've had 60, 70, 80 listings at any one point in time, and if nothing sold, it was the same as having no listings. There's no difference. So the only thing that ultimately matters is sales. And eventually I got to the point where our goal was consistently, and I say our, my wife and I, partnership, which I'm still married today. Don't know why that's important. But our goal was 10 sales a month. So 10 sales a month. So whatever it took to get 10 sales a month, that's what we did. So to get 10 sales, how many listings did we need a month? In that period, typically about 30 listings a month. So to get 30 listings a month, how many listing appointments did we have to go on? And then to go on that number of listing appointments, how many listing leads did we need? And to get that number of leads, how many contacts did we need to make? And get those many contacts, how many hours did we need to prospect? So it rolls forward and it rolls back. So depending on where you are in your career, you're going to roll forward. But at the start of your career, just focus on the hours and then morph into all the other areas till eventually you're just looking at sales and nothing else. So that's it. Please like and subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to be reminded of the next video. And I am done for today.